Welcome to Sports Talk with Steve Jones, the daily talk show with the voice of Penn State football and men's basketball. You never know what special guest may stop on by any given day. Now here's the man of the hour, Mr. Steve Jones.
Yes, Big Ten Media Days week. In a pristine spot, Las Vegas. Well, they're trying to get the
worst places to be.
Well, I mean, look, I know most of this is going to be inside. I got that. But I mean, it's 110 degrees there.
It's toasty.
Many of the members of the media in the Midwest drive to this. Chicago, Indianapolis, whatever the site happens to be at a particular year. My question is going to be, you'll get the national people there. My question is going to be, do you get as many of the, quote, local people to go? I don't know.
Like how many from Penn State or how many from Rutgers? Like how many of these schools are going to be going to it if it is Vegas? Like you could drive to Chicago. I drove to Chicago with my family from Connecticut.
Right.
Like doable.
My guess is, like, for example, Rutgers probably has a beat writer anyway.
Yes.
I mean, because now some of the guys who do play-by-play, go. I don't. I've only gone once ever, and that was because it was mandatory. They just put in instant replay for the first time, so it was mandatory that I go to a seminar for it. I said, "Are you sure I have to go?" "Oh yeah, you got to go." I'm like, okay.
You love you a good seminar, Steve. Yeah. I know that about you.
No, it was actually very useful. It explained exactly how it worked, why it worked, the whole deal. That way, when it came up,
you knew how to talk about it,
right? We knew how the process worked. It was, but that's the only time I've ever gone. But I can't imagine any of my broadcast brethren going this time. Not out there. Because, for example, like Gary Dolphin will go from Iowa. Well, it's like he can drive to Chicago or he can drive to Indianapolis. That's fine, But
Vegas is a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, it's a whole different ballgame. So it'll be interesting to see what the media turnout is. The national turnout will be great because you got two of the top teams in the country in the preseason that'll be out there with their coaches. James Franklin in Penn State and Ryan Day with defending national champion Ohio State. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Look, the predictions will be out there.
I've seen a lot.
Yeah, I'm already there. Which is fine. I've been asked this a lot because, let's face it, a lot of people want to talk about Penn State, so you keep being asked to be a guest. And I say the same thing every time. I said I'd rather be around a program that has high expectations than one that's harboring hope. Okay? I mean, you'd rather go into it with that. That means there's an excitement, a swirl around it.
There's energy in the building.
Right. Now, then there's the reality of it. The reality is, this is going to sound like, oh, well, you hang around James so much. Well, excuse me, but I live in the real world. I don't live in the fantasy world.
That's right.
So I don't skip ahead to Oregon. Okay? I can't broadcast the Oregon game on August 30th.
They have to play Nevada. They have to play FIU.
The only game I can do on August 30th is Nevada. I can't do the Oregon game. I can't do the game at Ohio State on November 1st. On August 30th, I can't do those two games. I can't do one till September 27th. I can't do one till November 1st. So it is a week-by-week proposition.
Yes. Speaking of propositions, a story that has been going on while you have been away on vacation that I wanted to talk about, because the latest piece of it has happened, the NFL Players Association. I want to discuss everything going on with the NFLPA, because it was announced last night into this morning. NFLPA Chief Strategy Officer J.C. Tretter resigned from his position and has withdrawn himself from being the interim executive director position. This, of course, comes after the NFLPA executive director, Lloyd Howell, resigned last Thursday because of a lot happening. So the I guess part of it, we'll start with the lesser crazy serious part of it, is still serious. Money exchanged was he used NFLPA funds to bring business to Howell's, I believe, strip clubs or establishments. And it was like hundreds of dollars was spent to get people rides for the betterment of the organization or some ridiculous thing. And this has started coming out following Pablo Torre's podcast with ESPN over matters of the controversial confidentiality agreement the NFL and NFLPA have gone through involving the everyone's favorite word in sports, collusion. Because it seems like the NFLPA sued the owners, alleging they were colluding to prevent guaranteed contracts following Deshaun Watson's guaranteed money contract with the Cleveland Browns, which has led to a firestorm where on, I believe it was July 9th, it officially came out that the NFLPA and NFL agreed to keep collusion findings secret, because that's a great idea, is to make sure no one finds out about the collusion agreement you made, because no one should know about it. But what happens when someone does know about it, Steve? It causes an entire explosion. Your thoughts, sir?
Well,
oh boy.
Let's start with this. Now you know why there's a delay in the negotiations between the
Yes, we do.
The NFL and the Players Association about an 18th game.
Yeah.
Okay. They're kind of pushing it back. I'm thinking, why would the NFL want to push it back? It's because there's nobody over there to negotiate with. No.
Mm-mm. And this has been...
So, I mean, in other words, there's a domino to this. Like, they'll hire somebody. This will be contentious because there's a lot of people that want it. And so the NFL can now lock in completely at the moment, on ESPN because they are not letting that group off the hook.
Nope.
Right? Not in the least. You mean you're paying the NBA more than you're paying us? I don't think so. So it's a mess, but it's a mess that deals with power. Power brings with it a mess. People get too much of it, right? Lloyd Howell looked like he had too much of it. NFL owners have sometimes too much of it. You know, the best leaders are the ones that are judicious in their use of it. They try not to take advantage of it. I mean, when I mean personal advantage,
Yes.
Howell's accused of taking personal advantage of it. Now, I don't know what J.C. Tretter's problem is.
Yeah.
That part I don't know.
I think the Treader part of it was more of he was involved, he was part of it, he got a lot of criticism and said, I'm just going to stay out of this. He was the players' president in 2023 when Howell was elected. He was kind of involved in all of this, so I think he just was like, I'm out. He denied having access to the collusion grievance or being involved in any way with it, but I think this is one of the ones where he kind of was like, I need to go. Like, the players don't trust us because you're sitting there as a player for the NFL.
Because
they didn't find out about this at all. They knew nothing.
No.
Which was the bigger problem here, is that the NFLPA did something for the quote-unquote for the players, didn't tell the players, and now the players are like, what the heck? We would have liked to know about this because it's kind of big, because the main problem is this case centered around the Deshaun Watson contract, where it was a guaranteed $230 million over 5 years. And right after that, Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson all signed contracts that were not fully guaranteed nor close to fully guaranteed.
Right.
And there was a thought of maybe the NFL is colluded to basically say, never again are we doing that. Right. So that is the issue here. And it's due to text exchanges that happened apparently during the March 2022 owners meeting right after Deshaun signed his contract in March 18th of 2022.
To me, it's kind of hard to sit there and talk about collusion when Myles Garrett's getting $40 million a year, T.J. Watt's getting $41 million a year, Dak Prescott's getting whatever he's getting. Saquon Barkley went out and signed a 3-year, $37 million contract, then again an extension to $51 million. Where's the collusion happening? Okay, they're not tamping down salaries. What's Dak Prescott's contract? I mean, now, where's the collusion? What, because they none of them changed teams?
It is over the guaranteed number because you look at the NBA, a lot of those contracts are fully guaranteed.
But the NFL,
is not
the
the
NFL has never done that. When Kirk Cousins got a guaranteed deal, it was earth-shattering because that doesn't happen in the NFL.
No.
A lot of Kyle Leff signs a 7-year, $140 million contract. Congratulations, Kyle. Then you actually read it. First 3 years are guaranteed. There's a bonus in there, the whole thing. But you got to make the team the other 4 years to get the rest of the money.
Yeah.
Well,
And-
that's how most of it works in the NFL.
You're like, I have the list of guaranteed contracts at signing pulled up right now. The largest guaranteed is Deshaun Watson's, $230. The next closest is Josh Allen's at $147 guaranteed.
Right.
He's averaging, of course, $55 million a year. He got $330 million over 6. So he's guaranteed less money, but you would assume he's going to be there for all 6 years and get all the money. So it's a part of the weirdness of contracts, the NFL. And also, the NFL and NBA have different contractual outlooks because you can trust health more in the NBA than you can in the NFL, where you're constantly, if you're a quarterback, to some extent.
Yeah, they give you a third of the season off.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. And if you're a quarterback, you can't get that because they need Josh Allen every week. They need Trevor Lawrence every week. Like, you're sitting here and they need them every week. By the way, you mentioned T.J. Watt. We'll bring that up. 3 years, $123. He got $41 million a year. The highest paid contract for anyone in the NFL that is not a quarterback. He beats out Jamar Chase by like $750,000 to that number. He is also ahead of Myles Garrett by $1 million too. So the edge/outside linebacker/defensive end market has now been reset with the new high number of T.J. Watt. So it is just, again, something to monitor going forward.
Well, no, this is what happened. It's quite simply. Myles Garrett set a bar. T.J. Watt clears the bar.
It's kind of how it works.
Now it clears the bar for the Micah Parsons signing. He'll get more than T.J. Watt. I mean, that's all we're doing here is just changing,
going up and
changing the bar. Then there's going to be somebody sitting there making $35 million a year, looking around saying, "I'm being disrespected." Like, kind of hard for the guy running a jackhammer in the street to sit back and relate to that.
Yeah.
But that's where we are with it. But the salary part of it is. Again, the collusion part, it's hard for me to picture the collusion part when I'm seeing these kind of numbers that I have never seen in the history of the NFL. I've never seen that. Never.
I think the collusion is just purely based around the fact that this all happened
and I'm not
and
saying,
it was in private.
And I'm not saying that
it didn't happen.
Quietly didn't. I'm not saying that. But it's hard to prove when you're if I'm an attorney in a courtroom, I'm like going, well, explain to me why Myles Garrett got $40 million a year. Explain to me why T.J. Watt's getting 41. Why Micah Parsons is going to get
$1 billion.
Let's just say 43. You know, why is Jamar Chase getting this number? Why is T. Higgins getting this number? Why is Joe Burrow getting this number? He said, where's the collusion? Where? Guys are keeping their players and they're giving them more money to do it. Saquon Barkley went on the market. Now, if Saquon Barkley had gone on the market and he and Derrick Henry had similar contracts, that would be very eyebrow-raising. Yet Henry signed a 2-year, $16 million deal, $8 million a year. Barkley signed a 3-year, $37 million deal, right, with Philadelphia. Where's the collusion there? We're talking about two players now. We're talking about two players that changed teams. All these other players we talked about did not change teams. Okay? They changed teams, yet they got different contracts in length and in money. Now, since then, Henry has had a renegotiated contract with the Ravens, and Saquon has had a renegotiated contract with the Eagles. That, to me, becomes difficult. I'm talking about the ability to prove collusion. Where's the collusion? In other words, you've got to bring that up in a courtroom. Okay, what's the collusion here? 2 running backs. Running backs allegedly devalued in the league. Well, 2 guys that put on a show last year that were incredible. Each one stayed with their current teams, and each one got a raise. I mean, that's where it becomes dicey to prove.
Which is why I'm guessing these agreements were signed by the NFL and NFLPA. One was over the collusion, over the guaranteed money on contracts. The other part of it, the NFL sued the NFLPA because they were alleging in 2023 the running back market, they were quote-unquote feigning injury to not have to play to then get more money in free agency, or they thought they weren't being paid in free agency enough.
Right.
And so the running backs made this whole thing. And so both sides had issues with each other.
Right. Well,
Here
first,
we now sit.
I mean, the devaluing of a running back is something I've fought against for a long time.
Because you see the value of Saquon Barkley, and you're like, this dude is crushing it.
Now, I realize the college game is a bit different than the NFL game. But you don't think I don't go into every single Penn State game, for the last 3 years now, going to a 4th year, with the idea of what Nicholas Singleton and Katron Allen mean? Like, to every game? I mean, every game.
Yeah.
So I've never taken to the idea of devaluing running backs. Right? Because you see the improvement, for example, Singleton and Allen, especially Singleton in the passing game. Allen was a better passing game coming in than Nick was. But now they're both terrific in the pass game. Well, that's additional touches in a game.
And we saw Singleton break a few of those out this year for 30, 40 yards.
Right, but we're seeing across the board, whether it's the NFL or with college football, I've never understood the devaluing of a position where a guy's touching the ball 20-some odd times a game between receiving and rushing, as opposed to a receiver who's touching the ball 7 times a game. See, that's the part I've never quite... I mean, I realize the big play, the chunk play, a chase makes a chunk play. Well, Pickens would drop the ball.
Jefferson.
No, Pickens would drop the ball.
Would, yeah.
Yeah. And then he'd blame the quarterback. That's Dak Prescott. That's Dak Prescott's issue.
Yeah, the highest paid quarterback in the NFL in terms of average annual value.
The AAC, by the way, rebranding itself as the American Conference, which they had to do because it's look, the AAC is too close to the ACC. Just calling themselves the American Conference, great. Now the WNBA players want more money.
Yes.
So I want to get into that for a second because it is easy to take a cheap shot at the WNBA players when you're in a business that a year ago, last fiscal year, lost $50 million. Like, you want more money? Okay. The WNBA salaries have been tamped down forever. Forever. You're going to tell me what the value of a Caitlin Clark is to that league, or what the value of an Eskew is to that league, or what Stewie means to that league, or what Angel Reese means to that league. They should be getting contracts that are commensurate with what the attendance they bring in, and also the fact that what they mean to the TV contract.
The current highest contract in the WNBA is Jackie Young at about a tiny bit over $250,000 a year.
And that's, I mean, and while that seems like nice money, and it's not for a full year, it's for a season. The season lasts, 5 months?
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, let's take Caitlin Clark. I mean, if she's getting $250,000, I say this with all due respect to Jackie Young, but what's Clark worth? $2-3 million a year?
She's currently sitting at $84.5.
Right. I mean, Those are ridiculous numbers. Now, I realize that the WNBA is sitting there and the product has never been hotter.
Mm-hmm.
The product has never been more viewed, but they still have a lot of issues.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the franchises have moved out of NBA arenas into the smaller arenas.
Mm-hmm.
Not all. Like the Liberty still play at Madison Square Garden, for example.
I believe the Dallas Wings still play in American Airlines, I think.
I think they do. But like the Atlanta Dream, they moved out. I mean, the Chicago Sky moved out, right, to smaller arenas. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm trying to take everybody through the whole thing. Elements that people, let's be honest about it, okay? How many of you even know this? Come on. I mean, seriously. Like, there's a couple of you? Most of it, this is news to you. Okay? It's news. The NBA still subsidizes this. And not only that, I mean, despite having all those people in last year and more popularity than ever, they lost $50 million. Now, that's going to be their argument on that side, but there's no way that they should not be getting more money. It's no way. Now, I don't know who in that league is making money. Like, I don't know how much the commissioner gets paid. I don't know how much. I don't know. Somebody's got to be getting something. But when you got players in that league making $84,000, come on.
And we've seen it a lot, and this is part of the WNBA, where WNBA players in the off-season will go and play in other leagues around the world.
Right.
That's why we've seen, of course, Brittany Griner I think she played in Russia. She
played in Russia. Well, so did Kelly Mazzani at one point, because I asked Kelly about Griner going back and forth, and I said, did you ever have any trouble? And Kelly told me, she says, no, actually, I never did. Like, so who knows?
But Brittany would play overseas. I think Diana Taurasi, Bird, a lot of them play overseas.
In fact, Taurasi and Bird both played in Russia too.
Yeah, it means you make $250,000 for 5 months, and then the other 5 months you make another $250,000.
And that's the issue that they're running into here. They're going overseas, and they're getting more money to go overseas than as opposed to playing in their own country.
Yeah,
right. And that's a big issue, and I think it's something that they need to solve in this CBA that they have, because you can sit there and you can be the immature individual and make the snarky comment of like, oh, really? And I was like, because I didn't see the ESPYs. In fact, to my credit, I've never seen any ESPYs ever. But I guess the host of it,
Shane Gillis,
introduced some woman in the crowd as a WNBA All-Star, and everybody applauded, and it turned out it was just the best friend of his wife. That's not good.
No.
Okay, that's not good.
So the WNBA, they had their All-Star game this weekend, by the way. That got good reception. It was in Indiana. Of course, everyone wanted to see Caitlin Clark play. The WNBA tried to capitalize on the Caitlin Clark stuff by having this in Indiana. Made sense. It was really good marketing. Caitlin, of course, is hurt, so she did not play. But they put out a whole statement being like, still go, still watch. Tickets went from like $180 down to like $60 or so. But still.
Well, again, this is the effect she has. I think you were, I don't think it was Jason, I think it was you. I pointed out that there was going to be a game between the Fever and I think the Liberty.
Probably.
And the tickets were going for $80. Yeah, I'm talking about the online market. And the second they found out that she was not going to play, it went down to $3.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, that's the issue you have with this. I mean, she's Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Okay, she's Steph Curry.
It is like even when LeBron comes to town 5-6 years ago, or Steph 5-6 years ago, or like when those guys came to town, tickets went up. That's how it worked.
Right.
Because I want like, as a kid who grew up in Connecticut, you think I get to go see LeBron James play in Cleveland every week, or Steph Curry go play in Golden State every week?
Right.
No, I didn't have the ability to.
Right.
So if I got given the chance to go watch one of them play in like New York, or I guess Brooklyn as of 2012 or whatever, of course I'd want to go see them play. Like, that's a part of it, is the ticket price will go up. So Caitlin has that effect in a crazy way in the WNBA.
Sure.
Where it's even more amplified. And yeah, even like $80 for a WNBA game compared to the money you'd pay to go to like a Yankees game or something. Yeah, truthfully, not terrible.
The Yankees aren't that good.
No.
Right, so,
but yeah, so a lot going on in the WNBA.
But that's, I mean, I know they wore shirts and the whole thing about,
pay us more.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, that's okay. Which is fine. They're just trying to make a statement. I have no problem with that. I mean, they're trying to get the word out about it. I have no problem with that. None. I just think that you can't take wow, look at what they've done to this one. It's like, oh, for God's sakes, After a while, there are too many people out there with too many snarky comments. And a lot of snarky comments.
Let's make our way to the MLB real fast. So a lot of things going on in baseball. Number one, the jerseys for the Reds and Braves were revealed for what they're going to have for the Speedway Classic. And we'll discuss that and the idea of that in a second. But that's going on right now. They're playing, of course, in Bristol, Tennessee at the Bristol Speedway, the last great Coliseum. It marks the first MLB game played in the state of Tennessee ever. Along with that, the MLB trade deadline is coming on up July 31st, so we're 10 days away from that. The Pittsburgh Pirates played a game that was sold out because of bobbleheads, not because the Pirates are good at all.
What was the bobblehead?
It was the artist Mac Miller, who passed away. He's from Pittsburgh. He passed away a few years ago. And so it was a sellout crowd. Along with that, we have last week's All-Star festivities for the MLB. Did you watch it all? I know you were on vacation. Did you see any of the Home Run Derby stuff?
I saw a little bit of it. It was good.
Well,
it's fine.
The Home Run Derby went well. Cal Raleigh won. And then, of course, with the All-Star game, which ended with the hit-off, which I wanted to ask your thoughts about. Because I think for the MLB All-Star game, I like this idea. I think it is a good idea. It doesn't mean the game doesn't go 16 innings because we have that in the past. It means if you hit extras, you have a hit-off. And I know people are like, we wanted to see Aaron Judge and Cal Raleigh. And it's like, well, the manager before the game selects who's going to hit. And that's that. Like, these guys are still really, really good at what they do. So let them go hit. And it was really fun to watch. I enjoyed it.
Wow.
I enjoyed seeing them just have a home run derby in the middle of an all-star game. That was really cool.
Yeah, well, first of all, it's an exhibition game. So that's a fine way. That's a fine way to end the exhibition game. I have no problem with that. It does bother me when the best players, like, you're only being asked to hit 3.
Yeah.
Essentially say no.
Yeah. Everyone wanted to see it be like Judge and Raleigh against
and
Ohtani and Alonso.
Well, Alonso was in there.
Yeah, he was in there.
Alonso, people have realized Alonso was the last hitter, but Schwarber won it.
Yeah.
So because of that,
people wanted, like, it was Ohtani,
right?
Freeman.
I mean, you've got
Lindor,
at some point you've got to give the fans something that they want.
Yeah. Which this was. I think this was.
Now,
it was good.
I have no issue with Judge and Ohtani not being in the home run derby. I don't want them in the home run derby. If I'm managing or I'm owning, right, it doesn't take more than a second to convince me that they shouldn't be in the home run derby. This, where you're being asked to hit 3,
yeah.
Okay, you're not being asked to hit, I don't know, how many did Raleigh hit? 50 to 60 home runs?
He hit something like that. You're not being asked to do what Josh Hamilton did in that the home run derby was at 09, I think.
It was 09. Oh, Boomer Esiason.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Boomer Esiason and I had a good time with that one. Because I was doing a Spikes game with the Brooklyn Cyclones that night, and Boomer was doing the Brooklyn broadcast that night. Right?
By the way, it was 28 home runs in that one.
Right? And so he kept going. In between, Steve, he says, he's got 15, right? Then they half an and then I yell, Boomer. He goes, what? He says, 24. 24? The two of us had a good time that night yelling back the numbers to each other.
You're not being
we even started doing it on the air. He's got 28.
You're not being asked to hit 28. You're being asked to hit 3. Just get 3.
Right.
And if you're a judge, you can, if you get that ball over the plate, or Cal Raleigh, as we saw, he's hitting it 400 plus feet.
Right.
They're cranking it.
And what they're doing is they're accumulating the number between the 3 hitters. So if you hit 1, that's fine. Like, see, that's the part that bothers me. I mean, you kind of sat there and went, they picked the Tampa Bay guy.
Yeah, Junior Caminero.
He's got 7 home runs. I guess.
I would have just said, like, Aaron, 3 swings.
Might as well have a bunt off.
Yeah. But you know what? I will give them credit. It was a step in the right direction, at least.
No. It was fine. It was fun.
I think the idea worked. I think people enjoyed it. And now, if next year if it comes back again, if they do get to that same point,
do it again. Just do the same thing. I mean, I have no problem with it. Now you always are going to have the usual. Well, maybe in the regular. No.
For an exhibition game, like how we had the Elam ending for the NBA All-Star Game for a couple of years, because that got popularity in the TBT going on right now. Hawaii Hoopers did get eliminated in the first round. But when that came into the NBA All-Star Game, that was like, okay, in year 1, it was cool. After that, it was less so because it was every single time. But for the MLB, for something where it's only going to happen if you're tied at the end of a game,
right? It
works perfectly. Like, that is like, cool. You know what? Like, if in the NBA, if we could have a dunk contest at the end of a game with, like, LeBron going at it, like, of course we want to see that. And this is their one case where we could have that, is this makes sense in baseball as a literal home run derby to end a game. It's what every kid dreamed of. I sat there at 10 years old and was like, I want to have a home run derby in a baseball game. That's so cool.
I think that the NBA picked three guys, each team. Now, they're not going to, it's a tie, but 3 guys, 3 team. 1 in each corner, 1 top of the key. You get 5.
You know what I would?
You get 5. You get 5 balls each corner, and 3 different guys shooting them.
Can I give you
not at the same time?
May I give you something else, Mr. Jones?
Right.
Going under the same guise as the MLB with the home run derby. Because as a kid, I dreamed about that, and like hypothetically, in a little league park, you could hit home runs. I hit a home run or 2 in my heyday as a 9-year-old.
Right.
There is something that the NBA could do, I think, if the game was tied at the end of the game. Each team picks 3 players, and you play game of knockout. Just a game of knockout, 3 players, but you just shoot it from the 3-point line.
Right.
That's the deal. There's no free throws, because most of the time they're going to make it, and it's going to keep going and going and going. A little further back, maybe right between the 3-point line and like the top of the key, all the way there. Just knockout. Just go and go and go until one team's players are all eliminated. That's the game. I think that would be fun.
Sure.
I think that would be a good thing to do.
Right. I mean, it's an exhibition. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
But the whole thing is a big...
But the MLB had a win when it comes to the All-Star game, which I think is important, because the MLB needed to win somewhere. We got something. Speaking of other MLB wins, I don't think we've been on the air since it's happened. The Rays' $1.7 billion being sold to the Jacksonville owner, or Jacksonville real estate mogul. They're going to stay in Tampa, it looks like, but $1.7 billion to the MLB.
Well, he wants to move the team to Tampa.
Yes. Move them to Tampa from St. Pete, but keep them in the region.
Yes.
Not move them to Jacksonville like it's been rumored. Thoughts?
Well, they need... Look, the ballpark is critical to the stability part. And
the trop has been damaged.
I hate to say this, but like I actually agree with Rob Manfred on this.
That can't be good.
I almost got the shakes. When was the last time you were down there, the Tampa Bay area?
Tampa? 2012? 2013?
Okay, so we stayed at the Hyatt right on the bay for the Outback Bowl. And that means I can see Tampa on the left, and I can see St. Petersburg on the right, and, of course, all the bridges. Right? And one of the bridges was damaged because a barge hit it. Like, in other words, like, it couldn't be used for the time being. They had to fix the bridge. Okay? And getting over to St. Petersburg is a pain in the neck. It's not an easy place to get to. It doesn't mean it's not beautiful. It doesn't mean it's not great. The whole thing. I realized that they wanted to build the new ballpark next to the Trop. But they've got to be able to come up with a solution. And I think Tampa's the better side to do it because, I mean, that's where the Buccaneers are. That's where the Lightning happen to be. The Lightning have no problem selling out games.
The Bucs do really well.
Right. I mean, and it's got to be that side of it. Which
it's also in like a weird spot in St. Pete. It's like far down. It's like
it is.
It's not. Yeah,
it is. It's far down. You know, the area is fine, but it's the ability to get to it. I mean, you know, you live in Clearwater, you live in Tampa, whatever it happens to be, Bradenton. Going to a Rays game is not an easy thing to do because you've got to fight your way over. Okay, the Bay to get there. And that's a big issue because, look, when you look at the A's getting eventually to Las Vegas, and if the Rays can get a ballpark in Tampa, now they can sit there and they don't have to worry about putting the chip of Nashville on the table to move a team. They can now do an expansion team in Nashville. Salt Lake City's probably the leader in the clubhouse right now to get the second expansion team. And guess what that does? It brings with it 8 minor league teams, which guess what opens the door for guess who? The local ball club, okay, the State College Spikes.
Yes.
All right. I mean, that is...
so just please... Get them out of St. Pete, put them in Tampa. Like, I'm looking right now.
But see, like, every time like I read these stories, you have to have the ability to localize the story. And that's part of the localizing the story. Now, is it possible the Spikes can become affiliated because of other things happening in minor league baseball? Absolutely. Okay. But it would really help the cause if the expansion thing were accelerated a little bit. And these two franchises have been the ones that have been slowing the expansion train. The A's and the Rays have been, because Manfred has said the entire time, I don't want to do the other things until I get this settled and check marked and stabilized.
And finally, it looks like they are going to be. Which is good. So
well, no, I mean
they're on the
they're not
path.
there. They're not there yet.
But they're closer than they were a year ago.
Okay.
Especially the A's.
Now a new owner, a new owner, which by the way is, there are a lot of people that are very enthusiastic about the new owner, and in part because the new owner is not the old owner.
Yes. New owner is not
That's
the same
the
as the
reason
old guy.
why.
Yeah. By the way, in terms of location, if they could I don't know what the land looks like in terms of being in and around Raymond James, but if they could put that ballpark somewhere around where like Steinbrenner is,
okay,
that would probably be their best case scenario because.
But you know what's interesting about that? Glad you brought that up. I agree with you. Okay. I agree with you.
Yes.
Right. But I'll say there is one slight issue with the Rays are not selling out that little ballpark.
No.
Like, okay, why? Okay, I mean, first of all, it's on the Tampa side. It's next to the stadium. And guess what that also means? There's plenty of parking. How many games have I done in my career in that stadium? I know the stadium. I know the area. And I don't know. That's a complicated market.
And I know the Lightning are down in and around.
Well, they're in the downtown area. No.
They're downtown.
Yeah, when
the Bucs
we used to stay. Other times we've done the Outback Bowl, and I mentioned stay at the Hyatt on the Bay. We used to stay downtown. Well, Emily Arena's right there.
Yeah, it's directly next to
Right.
it's downtown on the Riverwalk.
It's right there. It's beautiful. It's a great area, and believe me, they draw.
I appreciate a good downtown arena. I appreciate the looks of them. Like I know when we were in Minnesota a couple years ago, or last year for the Big Ten championship, so a couple years ago, Target Center.
Yeah,
I love that because it's right. If it's in the town and it feels like a part of it, and it's a building versus just like this big thing in the middle of nowhere. Like I remember going to L.A. and being there for an Angels game and seeing their stadium in the middle of nothing, and I was like, I don't like that. I don't appreciate how it looks.
I think the Honda Center's near it.
Yeah, but like
and
Disney is
in Disneyland.
But you can it's like it sticks out in the middle of nothing.
Yeah, but
it's a personal preference,
right? But I've got a yes and no on that. I understand what you're saying, but there's one critical element to it that always has to be discussed. All right, and this is something when the Patriots came this close to moving to Hartford, they wanted to build the stadium near the Connecticut River. And I don't know why I was asked, but I was asked to be on a show in Connecticut. And they asked me, hey, what do you think about it? And I said, well, I understand the ambiance of the river. I said, but you also cut off a third to almost half of your parking availability when you do that. So you talk about where the Angels are, incredible parking. Now, Petco, San Diego, for example, downtown, tighter. They used to play out at Jack Murphy, and I worked the Holiday Bowl once. What a setup! 2 interstates, right? I think it's 8 and 5 or something like that coming together. Okay, parking all around it, access, okay, exits. I mean, it was easy. Now, was it downtown? No, it was in Mission Valley. But it was like the ability to get in and out.
Pretty good.
I mean, that's when you build a stadium or an arena, it has to be considered. I mean, when I went to Fenway Park this year in April, normally I'll park at the Prudential Center and I'll walk it's almost a mile. Like, who cares? It's easy. It's through the back bay. It's nice. It's fine. I've done it who knows how many times. And so we went in for the game, but it was also Boston Marathon weekend. Now, the marathon, we went to a Saturday game. The marathon isn't until Monday. But there were people all over the place downtown. We go to the Prudential Center. We can't park. Can't. Now, why do I park at the Prudential Center? Because your other options are parking in a gas station or parking. I mean, those are your options. Yeah. Okay. And so we ended up parking down at Dartmouth Street. And then, it was at that point, it's an extra half mile. Okay, half mile. So it's a mile and a half, whatever, maybe a little bit more than that to walk over there. But it was a pain in the neck trying to maneuver around to find a place to park. Right? And that's why you talk about it's out there in the middle of nowhere. Something tells me that the getting in and out, like Dodger Stadium's easy. But Dodger Stadium is not in downtown Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I mean, those are some of when you're doing a stadium that people complain about out here. I know we're going over, but people will complain about out here. You have no idea what you're talking about.
So much parking.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
For 110,000 people.
Right. Okay. Hey, you ever go to a game at the University of Texas? Notre Dame? Right? You ever go to a game in Alabama? Alabama's pretty good. Right? Okay. Auburn's stadium. This is in the center of campus. Really. Iowa? Oh, my God. Whoa. Parking garages all over the place. Same thing. Camp Randall, same thing. Okay. Ohio State, the parking in Ohio State is it's like, okay, Michigan's good. Now they do use the golf course. Alistair McKenzie, who designed Augusta National, rolls over in his grave every time they're parking on his golf course at Michigan.
Thank you for listening to Sports Talk with Steve Jones, a 7 Mountain Media production. Come back at 11 every weekday for analysis of the latest happening in the sports landscape. From college football to European soccer, Steve and Kyle cover